Hello.
Hello, hello.
I'm the least technical person here, I would think. And I can run mine shorter than 5 minutes if that helps. I'm a legislative drafter and a member of the Commonwealth Association of Legislative Counsel, and I have been trying to explain all this as a layperson to other lawyers who are involved in drafting legislation. Our interest is fairly specific. It's towards the New Zealand and New South Wales developments in rules and code, and we're interested in the drafting of new legislation rather than clawing back over old legislation. So far, we've got a mailing list of more than 55 drafters across the globe in the Commonwealth, and I presented a paper, so did Adrian Kelly, at the annual conference last month, which will go in their journal, hopefully. And then there's a mini conference for drafters in London, for drafters in the region, to explain all this, the possibilities of all this to them. The project that we're hoping to do in Jersey is to take this, digging the tunnel from the drafter's end as opposed to the tech end, if you like, trying to look at how it might work to take the next piece of legislation that we draft, maybe an imaginary one, maybe a real one, and see how co-drafting with someone who is coding it, as opposed to the person coding it after it's all finished, how that works when you're then dealing with the policy officer, because both the drafters and the coders are asking awkward questions of the policy officers. So we're looking at things like the charities law that I've got here, where we will need new legislation which needs to operate through a website that charities can interact with. We may also be looking at Social Security, where obviously we already have an internal private government coded system for Social Security, and possibly financial services. And we're hoping that Jersey will be able to make some progress because we have a pretty small statute book. We cover the full range of areas, but it's a fairly tidy and fairly small, fairly coherent statute book. So it should be easier to start making inroads into that than it might be in somewhere bigger. We've also got a fairly nimble policy and drafting process because we don't have a huge government, and we've got a full fibre island-wide network and a sandbox approach by Digital Jersey. So we're hoping to make some progress there that we'll be able to report. And I can finish early if that's okay.
That is more than okay. Thank you so much, Matthew. Really appreciate it. I won't be demoing it here. If you're interested, at Stanford Codex, there is a project called Corpus Legis where some folks here in the CS department have used a programming language called Epilogue in order to model some legislation. So Corpus Legis at Stanford Codex. Now let's move on to Adrian Kelly and Mike Ferguson, please.